I used to work the night shift at a small convenience store on the edge of the town. It wasn't exactly my dream job, but it paid the bills, and the hours suited me. The store sat next to an old half-abandoned strip mall. By the time I clocked in at 10 p.m., the entire area was silent except for the faint buzz of the streetlights and the occasional passing car. Most nights were quiet. A few truckers, a handful of late-night smokers, or people heading home from bars. That was about it. But one night stuck with me. One night I will never forget. It was around 1 a.m. when the doorbell chime went off. A man walked in. I noticed him right away because there was something off. He wasn't dressed like most of the regulars. His clothes were messy but clean, and he moved slowly, scanning the shelves with this strange intensity. His eyes lingered on everything just a little too long. Eventually, he looked straight at me. He walked over, leaned on the counter, and asked, almost casually, "You alone here?" The way he asked it sent a chill through me. I forced a smile and shook my head. "No," I lied. "My coworker's in the back, stocking shelves." He just stared at me for a moment, his expression unreadable. Then, without buying anything, he gave a small nod and walked out the door. I tried to brush it off, but the whole interaction stuck in my head. A couple minutes later, I stepped outside the side door for a smoke break, just to clear my mind. That's when I saw it. A dark sedan parked at the far end of the empty lot. No headlights, no engine running, just sitting there. My gut twisted. I went back inside, locked the door, and kept an eye on the cameras. At first, nothing happened. The sedan didn't move. No one got out. Hours dragged on. But then, around 3 a.m., I noticed something on the monitor that froze me in place. The man was back. He was standing right outside the glass door of the store, staring directly at the camera. He wasn't moving. He wasn't knocking. Just standing there with this unsettling grin, like he knew I was watching. My heart pounded. I spun around toward the door, and sure enough, he was there, motionless, smiling. For a moment, I didn't breathe. Then, slowly, almost deliberately, he turned and walked across the lot. He didn't run, didn't rush, just strolled back to the sedan, got in, and sat there with the lights off, watching. He stayed like that for nearly an hour. I kept glancing at the monitors, my stomach in knots. Finally, just before dawn, the car pulled away. No screeching tires, no drama, just gone. When I stepped outside after my shift ended, the lot was empty again. Completely empty. The only sign that he'd ever been there was a crushed cigarette butt by the dumpster, still faintly warm when I touched it. Since that night, I've worked plenty more shifts, but I never forget that moment. The way he asked if I was alone, the way he stood there smiling. Because I realized something terrifying. He wasn't just passing through. He wanted me to know that if he wanted to, he could have gotten inside, and there was nothing I could have done to stop him. For a few years, I worked at a small pub just a couple of miles from my place. One night, my shift wrapped up around 11, and after hanging around for a couple of drinks with the staff, I decided to walk home. Now, this had been an exceptional night for me tip-wise, and I had close to $400 in cash on me at the time. Between the pub and my house was exactly one streetlight about a quarter mile from the pub. The rest of the walk was in complete darkness. This was a dark night too. It was close to the new moon and cloudy to boot, so it was almost pitch black. Now I live out in the boonies, so there isn't even much light pollution to help out. Not long after I leave the pub, a car slowly drives by me. About a quarter mile down the road, the car slows to a stop and just sit there. I stop walking and watch the car. It sits for a few minutes, then slowly drives away. A couple of minutes later, the same car comes slowly driving back by me in the opposite lane. It gets by me, drives a bit down the road and slows to a stop again. Then it does a U-turn and starts screaming back down the road towards me with the lights off. At this point, I'm fucking terrified. I don't have a cell phone at the time. There is no one around to see what's going on. The car is between me and the pub, so I can't get back to the safety there. My house is still about 1.5 miles away. No way I can quickly escape there. I quickly run off the road into the woods and duck down behind a bush. I watch for the car, but it's too dark to see it with the lights off and bushes, trees, undergrowth between me and the road. I sit there for about 10 minutes, but don't see or hear anything. I'm about to make my way back to the road when I hear car doors closing. Now I'm really panicking. It feels like my chest is about to explode. The hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. I keep imagining someone sneaking up behind me. I stay hidden and hope to God whoever it is doesn't find me. I don't know how long I stay there, but I eventually hear car doors again, then cars passing by. I give it a couple of minutes, then ease back to the road. When I see it's clear, I haul ass back to the pub and let my boss know what happened. He said then and there that I'm never to walk home at night again. Either him, his brother, or his mom will give me a lift home. When the other servers and the kitchen staff hear what happened, they all say the same thing. Working the night shift as a bus driver had always been my preference. Fewer people, quieter roads, and the comfort of routine. Most nights pass uneventfully, almost dull, but there is one night I will never forget. It's etched in my mind for all the wrong reasons. It was a little after midnight, and I was on the tail end of my shift, running the number 23 road toward the depot. The city was quiet, in that uneasy way it gets after the bars close but before the morning crowd stirs. Streetlights cast long yellow beams across empty sidewalks, and the only sounds inside the bus were the low hum of the engine and the faint buzz of the fluorescent lights above. At the next stop, under a dim flickering lamp, I spotted a lone figure. He was tall and lanky, hunched over like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. He dragged a large suitcase behind him. It scraped and thumped along the concrete as he shuffled forward. I eased the bus to a stop, opened the doors with that familiar hiss, and gave him my usual nod. "Evening," I said, my voice rough from hours of talking to almost no one. He didn't look at me, just shoved a crumbled bill into the fare box and mumbled something I couldn't understand. Garbled, low, almost like he was talking through water. He wore a ragged surgical mask that covered half his face. It looked old, discolored, like something from the early COVID days that had never been replaced. Only his eyes were visible, darting restless, never meeting mine. He staggered toward the back, dragging that suitcase down the aisle. The thing was huge, old canvas with scuffed edges, the kind of luggage you'd see at a yard sale. He dropped into a seat himself and rested a hand on it, almost protectively. Something about the way he held it made me uneasy, like it was more than just baggage. Still, told myself, you have seen worse. Drunks, dealers, even a guy with a live chicken once. This is just another passenger. A few stops later, without warning, the man stood up. He shuffled toward the back door. He didn't press the stop request button, didn't make eye contact, didn't say a word. He just stumbled off into the dark when the bus slowed an intersection. The doors had shut behind him, and I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. The rest of the way was uneventful. A couple more empty stops, then finally I pulled into the depot. The lot was quiet, except for the distant rumble of a few other buses idling in line for fuel. I parked in my bay, grabbed my clipboard, and started my post-trip inspection. It's routine. We are required to walk the aisle after every shift, check the seats, make sure nobody's passed out, log any damage or forgotten belongings. I've found everything from wallets to grocery bags to baby strolls over the years. It's annoying paperwork, but part of the job. That's when I saw it. The suitcase. It was still there, tucked under the seat where the masked man had been sitting. For a moment, my brain just refused to process it. People leave umbrellas or phones all the time, but no one forgets something that big. My gut twisted as I stepped closer. The canvas was torn at the corners, the zipper half rusted, and then I noticed the stain. A dark wet patch had spread onto the floor beneath it. I thought maybe someone spilled soda, but the smell hit me next. Sharp, metallic, unmistakable. Blood. My heart hammered in my chest. Training says to leave suspicious items alone. Call dispatch. Let the supervisors or police handle it. But part of me needed to know. My hand hovered over the zipper, shaking. I pulled back, wiped my palm on my pants, then forced myself to do what I should have done first. I grabbed the radio. Dispatch, this is Unit 23 at the depot. Got a situation here. Passenger left behind a large suitcase. There is a leak, smells off, requesting security. Static crackled before a calm voice came back. Copy that, 23. Step off the vehicle and wait for the security. Do not touch the item. I exhaled hard, realizing I'd been holding my breath. I stepped out into the night air, trying to keep my hand steady as I lit a cigarette. Security rolled up within minutes, followed by 2 squad cars. Blue lights splashed across the side of my bus, and suddenly the quiet depot felt like a crime scene. An officer approached me, notebook in hand. "You the driver?" "Yeah, he's some guy he left it. Mask on, tall, dragging it. Just walked off." The officer nodded. "You touched the bag?" I swallowed hard. "No, just saw the leak and called it in." Another officer climbed aboard the bus, flashlight sweeping the aisle. He crouched by the suitcase, examined it without opening it, then stepped back quickly. His face had gone pale. They cleared the area, told me to stand back by the guard shack. Minutes dragged into what felt like hours. Eventually, I saw them cut the suitcase open. Even from where I stood, the smell rolled out like a punch to the gut. One of the officers gagged, pulling his shirt over his nose. Another swore under his breath. Later, they told me the contents. Black trash bags, tightly wrapped, leaking fluids. Inside the bags were what I'd feared. Human remains. I didn't need every detail. The look on their faces told me enough. I gave my statement, described the man as best I could. The mask, the nervous eyes, the way he clutches the suitcase. They took the security footage from the depot, but I never heard what came of it. Whether they found him, whether they identified the victim. Nothing, just silence. For weeks, I couldn't shake it. Every night I drove, I caught myself staring in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see that suitcase sitting under a seat. Every tall, thin passenger in a mask made my stomach drop. Eventually, I requested a transfer. I don't drive nights anymore. Maybe never again.